There is so much going on with the God of War IP, so let's break down every project that's in development, as well as the cancelled projects and those who have been heavily rumoured. And of course it starts with God of War 6. Now God of War 6 has likely been in development for several years now, with work beginning around the release of God of War Ragnarok and its Valhalla DLC expansion. According to several official reports over the last few years, planning for God of War 6 started even before Ragnarok launched. These reports consistently indicate that God of War 6 will be another soft reboot similar to how God of War 2018 reinvented the franchise, bringing Kratos to a new setting with a new mythology to battle and presumably featuring new combat mechanics. Santa Monica Studio posted 2 job listings for a new unannounced title. Both job descriptions stated that knowledge of competitive products as well as personal understanding of God of War games would be beneficial, essentially confirmation that the studio is working on a new God of War entry. And it also seems that Cory Barlog will reportedly return as the main director of the next God of War game. According to Jason Schreier, Cory Barlog is not working on a sci-fi game and not a new IP, although it is Sony Santa Monica's next big thing. It is likely going to be a continuation of an existing IP, although it might feel like a new one. And according to Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming, one of the most reputable names in gaming leaks, God of War 6 will not only take place in the world of Egyptian mythology, but Kratos will also have a new signature weapon, a giant curved Egyptian sword known as a khopesh. Of course, at this point it's unclear if any of the other signature weapons will return in this game. And adding credibility to this setting, Insider Gaming reported that Christopher Judge, the actor who plays Kratos, expressed his thoughts about going to Egypt for the next God of War game, where he mentioned it would be a completion of his circle, before tracking back and stating if there is another game, he has no doubt that no matter what pantheon it is, it will be great. And the big question is, when will we actually get God of War 6? Well, Gaming Bible suggests that if we follow the 6-year gap between God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, God of War 6 may not arrive until 2028. However, they know this timeline could be affected by the studio's work on spin-off projects. More concerning for PS5 owners, the speculation that God of War 6 might be a PlayStation 6 launch title. However, it seems with the next generation, there will be a lot more shared releases between PS5 and PS6. I have no doubt that God of War 6 will be on both PlayStation 5 and 6. God of War 6 doesn't seem to actually be the next God of War game. In fact, the next God of War game will be a Metroidvania-style game set in the Greek mythology, and our main protagonist will be Kratos' brother, Deimos. Several insiders have stated that Sony is currently funding a 2.5D God of War game that is allegedly going to be a Metroidvania-style game set during the Greek era, featuring combat closer to the hack and slash formula than the heavy, more dramatic over-the-shoulder style of the Norse era. Tom Henderson released a report about the spin-off, and it's going to be similar in size and scope to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown or Metroid Dread. Insider Gaming provided the most detailed information about this project. According to reliable insider Special Nick, the upcoming God of War title is set in Greek mythology, the genre is Metroidvania, and players will take on the role of Deimos, Kratos' brother. Nick also stated that an announcement should arrive sometime within 2025, and another leaker on Reset Era corroborated these details, confirming that Deimos will return and the game is set in Greece, but prior to Kratos becoming a god. Additional information reveals that the game is being developed under the supervision of Santa Monica Studios. Mega Cat Studios could be involved in development. The project is also heavily inspired by Blasphemous. This is also going to be seen as a game to hold over God of War fans until the God of War 6 release. However, there's also been a big setback. Insider Gaming reported that during the latest episode of The Last of the Nintendogs on June 17, journalist Jeff Grubb revealed I Have Marathon and the unannounced new God of War Greek project, which I heard was pushed into 2026 as well. While the game had yet to be officially announced by PlayStation at the time, it can still see delays even internally. If the game is delayed until 2026, PlayStation may hold off any official announcement until closer to the planned launch window. Now, there's also been another God of War game that was in development, again going into the Greek mythology. This was a game being developed by Bluepoint Game Studios, however was cancelled. It was going to be a live service God of War game. Insider Gaming revealed that the screenshots of the cancelled God of War multiplayer game have surfaced online. The Bluepoint-led project, which was shelved alongside a Blur Studio game, was never officially confirmed but was known to be in development. MP First provided numerous screenshots and interesting insight into the project. Most notable detail is that the game would have taken place in Greece, the first return to that setting since God of War Ascension in 2013. According to MP First Studios, Hades would have been involved in some way, meaning the game would have taken place before his death in God of War 3. Fortunately, this is all the information currently available, as the project was never officially confirmed. Details about gameplay mechanics and other features remain scarce. Still, the screenshots reveal Bluepoint's vision for what could have been an intriguing live service addition to the franchise. Now, I should also mention that rumors do suggest that Bluepoint Games is also now working on third-person action-adventure game, and now given given all the development history with this God of War live service project, there is still a small possibility that this new game could also be linked to the God of War IP. Now, this is just my own personal speculation to this report that Bluepoint Games is developing a new third-person game, and maybe if it is a God of War project, perhaps a lot of the development assets that they've been creating over the last couple of years for the God of War live service project could be used in some way for this new title that they're creating if it is a God of War game. Let's move on to the God of War Remastered. This year, a lot of rumors were going around that there was going to be a 20th anniversary announcement of remasters of the original collection of God of War games. However, the 20th anniversary went and it only included a free PS5 avatar, a gallery show, merchandise, and God of War Ragnarok DLC. Now, the absence of these remasters, despite what rumors claimed, obviously showed that these reports were false, as there have been no other new rumors suggesting that Sony is even developing or has plans for remasters on ice. It seems that there is no indication that Sony is producing remasters for the original God of War games. However, after all the discourse, fans' expectations of a remaster, and seeing the interest in getting these original games remastered, perhaps Sony could find a way to greenlight these projects with a studio or maybe even a third-party studio to get these games to our current consoles before the next God of War mainline game. Now, also in development is the Amazon's God of War TV series, which is a huge big budget live action production. Now, Insider Gaming, citing Nexus Point News, previously leaked the Elden Ring's film existence, claims that Prime Video's God of War has a filming start date beginning as soon as March 2026. According to the report, production will take place in Vancouver and casting is currently underway for the leads. There have also been reports that they are looking at Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa, and even Henry Cavill take up the mantle of Kratos, and maybe even Christopher Judge himself, who I absolutely would love to play Kratos in a live action adaptation, as the Amazon version will adapt the 2018 game. If true, filming would begin during or after Amazon Prime's Tomb Raider series, which is set to start in January 2026. This timeline also suggests we could get confirmation on who will play Kratos and Atreus as well as other Norse-based characters sooner rather than later. Now, in 2022, Prime Video announced that the series would be brought to streaming, with many of the game's talent producing. While news surrounding the adaptation has been relatively quiet since then, the reported March 2026 filming date suggests that the project is moving forward. So looking at this entire pipeline of God of War product, it does seem that God of War 6 is a long way away, but we have the Amazon series and the spin-off Deimos game to keep us occupied with the God of War franchise till the release of God of War 6. However, with these other projects, it will likely affect the development of God of War 6, as Santa Monica is supervising the project behind Deimos, and there will be some God of War game producers behind the scenes at Amazon whilst filming God of War for their Amazon streaming service, and maybe Cory Barlog is one of them since he directed the original 2018 game. So the timeline looks like this. In 2026, they are going to start filming the Amazon God of War show, as well as releasing the Deimos game, and then in 2027 we are likely going to be getting the release of the Amazon adaptation of God of War, and hopefully in 2028 with the release of the PlayStation 6 we will also be getting God of War 6. And remember also during this time that Bluepoint Games is also working on a third-person brand new game which could be tied to the God of War IP, since they were working on a live service game, so it's possible that their new game is also linked to God of War. Let me know what you guys think about all these new God of War projects in the comment section below. Also check out my God of War 6 breakdown. And guys, I wanted to announce the Witch Hunt collection, which is going to be the first collection that will be available on the Balboa Club store when it launches. This specific collection is inspired by the Witcher series and the dark fantasy genre. This is a brand that I've really wanted to make for a long time. I didn't just want to make merch, but I wanted to make something special, something that mixes the really cool designs of the wrestling world with the things that we love the most, video games. And of course, the first design had to be inspired by my favorite game of all time, The Witcher 3. So this is something special that I've created for you. I want you to join the club, and I will announce when the store is about to launch through this channel. Now we're even going to TikTok and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, God bless, and join the Balboa Club today. Bye bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.